As many people in the community are trying to provide anecdotal evidence for their theories on whether skill-based matchmaking is in Call of Duty World War II or not, more on that later, I'd rather take a look at actual shit found in game files for the Call of Duty news of the week. There was a PC patch on Friday the 17th that actually made some security improvements, which will hopefully catch that wave of cheaters that I highlighted in a video last week, along with improvements to the lobby loading time. Even though there weren't many fixes included with the patch, there was tons more content under the covers found by some data miners, of which I'll throw the links to the originals in the description so you can view them at your own pace instead of me flashing shit up on the screen for shorter than Harvey Weinstein was flashing actresses. I spoke about most of these weapons in my previous Call of Duty news video, but there were some new images found for the aforementioned Arasaka, Beretta 38 SMG, Breda 30 LMG, Gewehr 43, Type 5 Sten, P38 pistol, Enfield No. 2 revolver, and the trench knife, which contains new variants coded that confirms that not only will we have new weapons, but there will be different rarities similar to the base weapons for these hidden in the game files. There's also some new weapons spotted with this batch of code: the Volkssturm Gewehr semi-automatic rifle, the M1919 Browning and MG81 LMGs, the Winchester 94 lever-action shotgun, the Reich revolver pistol, and two new melee weapons, the ice pick and combat knife for those that enjoy frogging around the map with that stupid hit-the-deck animation and trying to swat people away instead of actually shooting them in a shooter game. Some weapons, like the M1919 and Enfield No. 2 revolver, were found in the campaign, and there's even reload animations for some of the others, including the Gewehr 43, Breda 30, and new Reich revolver. Now, it remains to be seen if these new weapons will be locked away inside of supply drops only, more on those later, or if it'll be like Infinite Warfare, whereby Season Pass owners will automatically be given the base variant of the weapon, and those plebs that don't will have to complete challenges to get access unless they're lucky enough to get them in supply drops. This is how it should be done, not in the Black Ops 3 or Advanced Warfare hide the shit in supply drops and continue to pay the chance to use, yet people didn't boycott those games based on shady business practices that are worse than the most recent game that lots of people had no problem boycotting. Anyways, also found in the PC files are references to new types of supply drops: legendary, epic, and weapon, which they don't have any descriptions, only images associated with them, but I'm assuming that they will guarantee the rarity of the item that is associated with the name. Given that there are no keys this time around to purchase with COD points, it still remains to be seen if COD points will be linked to purchasing supply drops directly so that there's only one layer of obfuscation instead of two, or, since Activision is spelt with a $sign, it seems only natural to have the paid a chance to earn economy in a full price game, and they even got some praise from idiots that couldn't see right through their blatant PR move by pushing the implementation of COD points back a week, as if that does anything to affect their bottom line. It only gives them some meaningful pats on the back. This could also mean that these weapons would be available as soon as Tuesday the 21st, which is a fucking travesty, given that there are 6 fucking data mined weapons. This is the epitome of how micro DLC, even if it's cosmetic only, even if it's things that are earnable using in-game challenges, makes for a shittier product. There's 9 fucking vanilla maps in this game, with 3 already found in game files, and 31 launch weapons with 16 more found in the game files. That's more than half the current amount of weapons that are purposely just thrown in fucking later. Now, I'm not arguing against drip feeding content to keep the game feeling fresh for everyone, but considering how many items are being found, it's not a good look for them. Speaking of not good looking, there are also some new camos that were found that are definitely not era appropriate, which means that the on-launch portion of Michelle Condry's statement on cosmetics was the most important clause in that sentence. There's the chrome camo, which just looks like some Sunflare bullshit version of the default camo that might be rewarded for having all diamond weapons similar to Black Sky and Infinite Warfare, as well as some more additional soon-to-be micro DLC ones. They include fire skulls, which looks like fire and not skulls, or a steaming pile of shit, more like. The diamond weave that turns your weapon into a wood file tool. Mop, which is symbolism for the ton of cleaning up that this game needs to do. And then the animal portion of the camos, including copper giraffe that resembles a snake instead of the blotches that make up an actual giraffe coat. The gold leopard that looks like any other spotted creature but a leopard, since the leopard has rosettes instead of straight up spots. Chrome tiger that more resembles a zebra due to the color scheme, and rattles, which looks less like a snake and more like the pixelated bukkake you just tug one out to. Did they rehire the people that did those camos from Infinite Warfare? Fuck, I guess anybody that can Google and Photoshop can be employed by Activision. And lastly is an animated camo called camo_loot_02, which is a better version of the current camos you unlock with headshots. Maybe there's camo rarities coming soon as well. While hashtag the hammer has been pretty hush regarding the game, Condry took to Twitter to silence critics about skill-based matchmaking, which is almost impossible to prove unless occasionally see some code snippets, and we can't because it's proprietary, or tons of data, which is annoyingly cumbersome due to the lack of lobby leaderboards, even if there are websites which have the information for some, but not all of the players, and lobby leaderboards only work when there's actually people in the HQ, which we all know that hasn't happened yet. What I think is happening here is that the connection in this game is so supercalifragilisticexpial atrocious that people are erroneously blaming the skill component over the ping component because of the awful launch and the fact that we've been on peer-to-peer listen servers for the past fucking week and a half or so. Combine that with the fact that lots of players have put the game away after their terrible experiences, and the only players that are left actually trying to play are those that are really into Call of Duty and thus will have better stats by default. Not to mention, the boots on the ground games lend themselves to a smaller skill gap than those jetpacking games, so the people that are really, really good don't have significantly better KDs compared with the previous few Call of Duty games, so any skill component put into the matchmaking system at all will match you up with those superior players that don't have as big of a KD gap as in the past. And no, just because you go against higher level players don't mean they're better players. They just have nothing better to do with their lives because they don't realize how awesome the graphics and hit detection are in that VR game called Outside. Once this game gets into a better state, and of course around Christmas time, hopefully the noobs will be here, and the games will be less sweaty than Glenn Schofield's gym workouts. Condrey also announced on Twitter that Flinch is getting a change to match the, quote, gold standard of Black Ops 2, which seems pretty fucking dumb, considering that toughness was a crutch perk in Black Ops 2, yet there's only one slot for a basic training of Primed, thus making it the only basic training out of like 20 fucking some odd choices. How the hell is this a good design decision? It makes the division system look even worse now. Why did you guys have to fuck up something that had been working fine for years for an inferior create-a-class system? I guess that's how you accidentally turned on double XP for launch and now turned it off just as you're going to be able to buy COD points in order to try and get those tokens for double XP out of supply drops in a non-sleazy attempt to make more money by making the progression worse. By the way, Condrey, your rationale for having Dom be only 50 points per kill due to the end-of-match surveys that indicate a thumbs up instead of a thumbs down is just as asinine. The yes could be referring to the fact that you got bedwetters on the opposite team, or you are on the right end of whatever shitty connection the game happens to throw at you. I can still enjoy a game of domination, but yet recognize that 50 points per kill makes the game play like absolute shit. People want to call in and earn score streaks. That's why they play Call of Duty. There are plenty of better games that do gun mechanics that don't have score streaks in them that I'd rather play if I can't earn score streaks in this fucking godforsaken game. You can instead have the nebulous survey answers convey whatever fucking narrative you want to drive home and hide behind the faulty conclusions from data to absolve yourselves from these shitty design decisions and throw away the lessons learned from the past several Call of Duty games. We're still gonna keep calling you out on your bullshit though. I've been the Schwantz27, making like Tigger and bouncing. Until next time.